Welcome back to another week of should you use said Pokemon in a Scarlet and Violet playthrough. Last week, we had the much loved Ceruledge. This week, we're going in the opposite direction with the Bug Dark type Lokix. That's not to say Lokix is terrible, I'm just saying that Bug and Dark is kind of the opposite of Fire and Ghost. Lokix is definitely very awesomely designed, and it seems to be a pretty popular choice among fans of Scarlet and Violet. So let's see how this works. Nimble can be found as early as South Province Area 3, so pretty early on. It then evolves into Lokix at level 24, so that's a really solid early evolution level. Lokix's two most highlighted stats are definitely its 102 base attack and 92 base speed, so pretty impressive stats wise for an in-game playthrough. Right off the bat, what I like is the amount of options it has in its move pool. Bug Bite at level 22 and Assurance at level 9, pretty good for early stab types. Then, later on, it gets access to Throat Chop at level 36 and Lunge upon evolution, which is actually a very fantastic move. 80 base power while also lowering the target's attack stat. Skitter Smack works in a similar way, only it has 70 base power while lowering the target's special attack stat. I like the TM options as well for its bug type options. It gets access to Leech Life and X-Scissor, which are pretty solid moves. Dark-wise, for TMs, its best bet is Thief, so you're better off keeping Throat Chop. Coverage-wise, it's got a few options. Axe Kick is fun due to it being able to confuse the opponent. However, if it misses, Lokix will take damage. This is followed by Trailblaze, which is a 50 base power grass move that higher speed by a stage. Playthrough-wise, I don't really see this mattering much though. Low Kick and Low Sweep are pretty good fighting options if you want to get a speed drop with Low Sweep, and also it has Brick Break. And then as for Aerial Ace, that's good for other bug types. Other than that, I don't see coverage for its fire or flying weaknesses, but the fighting options it has give it a lot of options versus its rock type weakness, and other typings fighting is super effective too. Fighting is an excellent coverage option on a Pokemon like this. Despite not having all the coverage in the world though, it still has the option to absolutely destroy with Swords Dance. Which I mean, if its attack is raised by just 2 stages, everything is dying. So at the end of the day, I do value coverage, but a setup option such as Swords Dance is still really deadly. With all this in mind though, I value Lokix as a better competitive mon than an in-game mon personally. It has its accessibility to First Impression, Sucker Punch, and U-Turn, which with those already allows it to place pretty high currently in the meta. I see those moves being more valuable competitive-wise. In terms of important battles, its bug typing only really helps it out in a few battles. The bug type is also one of the worst typings in general. Its dark typing is definitely what makes it more viable. And even then, there are better options out there like Weavile and Crocodile. Weavile, we already know why. And Crocodile, because it has Moxie and its primary typing of ground. The dark typing just adds to their value. But like I said, competitive-wise, it's great. That's not to say it doesn't keep up with other dark type options in the game though. I would deem it in the higher tier of options to use, but it definitely isn't the best dark type you could use. Essentially, I wouldn't use Lokix if you're looking for a bug type. I would use it for its dark type capabilities. But there are better Pokemon with secondary typings outside of their dark type that make them useful and deadly. Hence Weavile's ice type and Crocodile's ground type. The dark typing, as I said, just adds more value, if that makes sense. So, my final synopsis. Should you use Lokix? Sure. It's definitely not a bad Pokemon at all, and it has its usages. Swords Dance can allow you to shred if you like to sweep. With the stats it has too, it's got power and speed. But as I mentioned above, it finds its usage the most from its dark typing, and I just don't think the bug typing is all that useful in a playthrough in Scarlet and Violet. Anywho, that wraps up my analysis on Lokix. What do you guys think? Do you like Lokix? Let me know your thoughts down below.